You hear about massive book series all the time, but have you ever heard of one that sold more copies than The Hunger Games? Yeah, it's a global publishing giant, and it's not about wizards, it's not about vampires, it's about feral cats. This is the incredible story of warrior cats.
So, let's start with a question. I want you to just think about these numbers for a second. We're talking about a franchise with figures that could make Hollywood jealous. What on earth could possibly tie all of this together? The answer? Well, it's probably not what you're thinking.
Yep, that's it. Cats. Specifically, feral cats. And this is the story of how a series about them basically took over the world.
Okay, first things first, let's just try to get our heads around the scale of this thing. Because when I say it's a phenomenon, I am not kidding. This is a legitimate global force.
So let's start with the books. We're talking over 80 million copies sold across the globe. And to put that into perspective, they've been translated into almost 40 different languages. This isn't just a hit in one country, it's everywhere.
But the story doesn't end on the bookshelf. This thing has absolutely exploded online. The hashtag #WarriorCats has racked up nearly 2 billion views on TikTok. The official Roblox game, get this, over 650 million plays. And fans on YouTube created content that was watched 500 million times in 2023 alone. This isn't just a fan base, it is a full-blown, thriving digital nation.
And maybe the wildest part is how long this has been going on. I mean, this is no flash in the pan. We're talking 16 straight years on the New York Times bestseller list. That kind of staying power tells you something special is going on, something that's connecting with generation after generation of readers. So, the big question is, how? How does a series about cats pull all of this off? The answer can't just be, well, the people like cats. No, there's something much, much deeper happening here. So let's peel back the layers and find out what really makes this saga tick.
It's the question everybody asks, right? How do you get from a few books about cats to this global empire? What is the actual story that has so many people hooked?
Okay, first, forget everything you think you know about cute, fluffy house cats. This is high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings, but with paws. We're talking about these complex societies of wildcats, each with its own distinct culture, its own legal code, and a whole religion centered around their warrior ancestors who live in the stars in a place called StarClan. See, the whole world is built around these 5 rival clans, and each one has skills perfectly adapted to its home turf. ThunderClan are the masters of stealth in the deep forest. WindClan are built for speed on the open plains. RiverClan cats? They can actually swim and hunt fish. This amazing level of detail right away creates a real sense of identity and, of course, a whole lot of conflict between the groups.
And the world building goes even further. The series has its own language, which fans call cat speak. Humans are called two legs, cars are terrifying monsters, and a highway is a thunderpath. It seems like a small thing, but it's genius because it completely immerses you. It forces you to see our own world through a completely different set of eyes.
Now let's dive into the really sophisticated stuff, the actual structure that holds this entire world together. This is where you see the true complexity of the series.
You see, every clan has this really strict social hierarchy. At the very top, you have the leader, who is granted 9 lives by their ancestors, no big deal. Right below them is the deputy, who's next in line. You've got the medicine cat, who is both a healer and a spiritual guide, who kind of stands apart from clan politics. Then come the warriors, the apprentices in training, the nursing queens, and finally, the respected elders. Every single cat has a job to do, and every job serves the clan. And holding all of this together is the Warrior Code, a set of 16 laws that governs everything. It lays out the rules of battle, it demands absolute loyalty to your own clan, and it enshrines the sacred duty to protect the youngest and oldest members. It's the moral and legal foundation of their entire world. And it's because of this rich, structured world that the series can explore some surprisingly grown-up themes. This is not just about cats fighting over territory. We are talking about socio-political conflict, tribalism, prejudice, forbidden love, and even really deep questions about death and what comes after. That's why it connects so deeply. It's a coming-of-age story that never, ever talks down to its audience.
So that brings us to the next big question. How is it even possible for one author to create so much material? We're talking over 100 books, and keep it all so consistent. Well, here comes the secret.
So who is this literary powerhouse, Aaron Hunter, this single creative genius behind this massive, sprawling universe?
Surprise! She doesn't exist. Erin Hunter is actually a pseudonym, a pen name used by a whole team of writers and editors all working together. It's a pretty brilliant piece of branding, right?
So the whole idea was dreamed up by an editor named Victoria Holmes. She built the world and plotted out those first crucial storylines. Then she brought in fantastic writers like Kate Carey and Sherith Baldry to bring the stories to life. This team model is the engine that powers the whole franchise. It means they can publish books at an incredible rate while making sure the voice always feels like the same author. It's institutional creativity at its absolute finest.
And that super efficient creative engine has allowed Warrior Cats to grow way beyond just books and become a true multimedia empire.
I mean, just look at this journey. It all starts with that first book back in 2003. By 2007, they're already branching out into manga. Fast forward to 2021, and they launch a hugely popular game on Roblox. And just this year, a massive deal was signed with the streaming giant Tencent Video to finally create the first official animated series, which they're aiming to release in 2027.
And this really gets at a key change. Warrior Cats has evolved from a beloved book series into a digital-first lifestyle brand. It's not just something you read anymore. It's a world you can actually live in, online, through games, social media, and endless fan creations.
And that Tencent deal? That is the next giant leap. For years, an animated series has been the #1 thing fans have been begging for, and this partnership is finally going to bring these clans to life on screen for a massive global audience, especially tapping into the huge cat-based economy in Asia.
Which really brings us all the way back to the core mystery. What is it about these stories, these epic tales of loyalty and betrayal and survival, all seen through the eyes of feral cats, that connects so powerfully with millions of us all over the world? Maybe, just maybe, it's because in their constant struggle to find a balance between what they want as individuals and what's best for their community, we end up seeing a little bit of ourselves.